Hello everyone, today we're going to look at solving literal equations. So what this means is we have an equation that has multiple variables and we want to solve for one of them. So always just make sure that every other variable you treat as you would as if it were a number. So for instance, solve A equals 1/2 BH for B. So this is the equation for the area of a triangle and we want to solve it for B, the base of the triangle. So we have the B that we want by itself. So we need to get rid of the 1/2 and we need to get rid of the h. So the first thing that I would do is get rid of the 1/2 by multiplying by 2. So I have 2a equals bh. I want to get b by itself, so I have to divide out the h. B times h, how do I undo multiplication? Division. So I end up with b equals 2a over h. The next one is the equation to go from degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. Now I want to reverse it. I want to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So if f equals 9/5 c plus 32, how do I get the c by itself? So the first thing I have to do is get rid of that plus 32. And the opposite of addition is subtraction. And now I have 9/5 times c. So to undo multiplication, I have to do division. So I would divide by 9/5, but it's a fraction. And remember, you divide by a fraction by multiplying by the reciprocal. And then remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, and it's the entire side. So that's why I'm having my 9 minus 32 in parentheses. That whole thing is getting multiplied by 5/9. So I have 5/9 times f minus 32. You can distribute the 5/9 if you want, but I would just leave it the way that it is. And then we have 4x minus 2y equals 18. I want to solve that for y. So this is the equation of a line. If you take Tech 1, then you're going to be doing this a lot. You have an equation in what's called standard form, and you want to solve it for y. So we're going to see this come up quite a bit. So what I want to do is to get y by itself, I need to get rid of that 4x first. So negative 2y equals 18 minus 4x. And then divide both sides by negative 2. Now in general, when you have a line, you want it to look like the following. Y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to rearrange the order and I'm going to put the x first and the constant last when I divide them out. But negative 4x over negative 2 is positive 2x. 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9. So I have y equals 2x minus 9. So here's another line, 3y plus 8x equals 12. Again, I want to get y by itself. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of that 8x and subtract it over. And again, I'm going to put the x's first. Then I want to get rid of the 3 by dividing. I'm going to divide each of them by 3. So I have y equals negative 8 over 3x plus 12 over 3 is 4. Got one more line. 3x minus y plus 12 equals 0. I want to get that, I want to solve that for y. So if I notice, I've got a minus y over here. So if I want to get y by itself, instead of moving everything else, I can just add y to both sides. And then I have y equals 3x plus 12. Okay, so if you've got a 0 on one side and you want y by itself, just move the y over and it's a lot less steps. And then our last one, v equals 1/3 pi r squared h. I want to solve it for h. So this is the equation of the volume of a cylinder. If I want to get h by itself, the first thing I'm going to do is again get rid of that 1/3 by multiplying both sides by 3. Not a very pretty h. And then to get h by itself, I need to get rid of that pi r squared. So I'm going to get rid of it by division because it was multiplication. So h equals 3b over pi r squared. Okay. So again, if you're having trouble trying to decide what to do, replace the variable that you're not solving for with a number and then see what you're supposed to do because it's going to be the same exact thing. Okay, so try it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.